Hit and miss.
I don't mind going first,
Let's do it.
unless Rising want to take it.
No, you got it.
Um, so we didn't get it. We had a lot of fun last week. So, and it really was about the listeners last week. Thank you guys for tuning in and supporting us. We really appreciate that. But what I want to ask this week is because in rap music, I felt like rap music was the last place that this could really exist. Like homophobia, it's pretty much been you can't have it, you can't display it like openly in the workplace, anywhere nowadays. But in rap music, it was still kind of allowed. You could still say the F bomb, you could still say certain things in your lyrics, and it was cool until I'm about to get my babies mixed up. It was the baby, right?
The baby. Yeah.
Yeah, until the baby went on his weird stage rant or whatever, and he got canceled. I mean, well, he got canceled for that tour, the rest of the tour. So to me, that shows how much power the LGBTQ people are, and that group, how powerful they are. Because I saw women saying, women that agreed with him being canceled saying, but he's still allowed to be misogynistic and things like that. My question to you guys is the LBGTQ, are they the most powerful, I guess, group that we have when it comes to social issues? Because it seems like they get a lot of victories. I know I'm not downplaying any struggles they have, but they do get a lot of things done and accomplished that I think we as Black people sometimes wish we could get accomplished. Are they the most powerful out there right now?
I won't say they're the most powerful. What I'll say is that they are the most vocal and like watched group right now. They are making huge strides right now. It's they're the hot thing to be able to say, oh, I'm supporting them and everything like that. And so that they at this point they're riding a wave that is going to at some point is going to crest and start going back down to where it'll be kind of more of a, like you talk about the Black people, right? Like the Black community, we had that wave in the 60s, and now it kind of the attention and the focus went away, right? So since marriage equality, really, they've had this huge wave, and you got to think about what industry that is. Like the LGBTQ community runs music. Like they are powerful behind the scenes of music. And so when you really kind of think through it, it makes sense that if they say we aren't going to support this, and even if it's a 20%, a 25% reduction in ticket sales for somebody, I mean, a label will look at that and be like, we're not going to risk it. It's, I don't think you can get a large enough Black bloc to say we are not going to any more of your concerts or whatever if you have this person on. The last time that happened, I think, was Chrisette Michele. The Black community canceled the shit out of Chrisette Michele after she did Trump's inauguration. So it's one of those things that if there's something that is egregious enough to be like, okay, we are going to cancel, we will do the same thing. Black people will do that and stand up. But it's not a whole lot. The LBGTQ community isn't getting like all of these great things. What's happening is they got one huge watershed, like Supreme Court ruling, and everything else really has just been them defending that ruling. If you really think about it, it's like, I'm not talking about the council thing, but like all of the other wins they've been getting have just been, folks going back after it, trying to overturn it or trying to find ways around it. And they've been losing that, but it's not like they're making huge extra strides. It really is just them defending what they already got.
And I called it a weird rant because I don't know where that came from. Like,
yeah, that's true. That's true. Like it was super random.
You remember a few episodes ago we were talking about that, the cancel culture, and that's what I was talking about. When I'm just saying, like, when you just put your shit out there, nobody asks you anything. It's so easy not to say shit that's when people get canceled. So if there would have been he would have been on a talk show and he would express his opinion. Like you're entitled to your opinion. Now, hopefully you're a little more polished than saying the dumb shit he said. But at the end of the day, it's dog. You just randomly at a concert like who wants hot dogs? Now let me talk about how like you just went. He went left. Like it was just out of the blue, and it's kind of like where did that come from? And so for me, I don't think they're just, I'm not going to say necessarily the most powerful. I would say their points are direct. Like if you ask us, if they're like, okay, if the LGBT community came to us today, like, black people, here's the secret sauce. We'll tell us what you want and we got you. Mm-hmm. We'd be like, come again? Hold on, let me go ask Ryzen. Like we don't know what we want equality. What does that look like? We don't know necessarily what we want. I know we want equality and equity and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, what does that look like?
Yeah,
and
it's the low hanging fruit. Like the simple answers for Black community have been solved. Right now, it's the nuanced stuff. It's we don't have anything that just says, oh, Black people can't do this anymore. Now it can be hidden. It can be, and so that's why it's so hard, like you're saying, to find what the concerted effort is for Black people. The LBGTQ community is still fighting very poignant. Gay people can't do this thing, and so it's very easy for them to hone in on that and say, we want to overturn that. Like, no, we want to be able to be married. No, we want to be able to, you can't tell us you're not going to make our wedding cake because we're gay. Like that, so there's very poignant things that they can look at and say you're discriminating against us.
Yeah, and I think also is because it's blatant discrimination. That's one thing, but also these are our brothers, these are our sisters. These they are touching every piece of the puzzle. Like a racist can have a brother who's gay, so they'll never relate to me, but they know their gay brother and they know that he's a good dude. And so they might stand up for him. So they're touching every piece of the puzzle. They're involved in everybody's lives. And so they're relatable. Like if you just don't like Black people, you just don't like Black people.
Yeah. You can go almost your whole life without interacting with one, right? Or them not. Yeah.
And so, and then social economically, it's, if you look at Black people as you look at our wealth, we're on the lower end. Like we're not making money like that, as a people. Once again, they're touching every aspect. There's broke gay people. There's rich gay people, or, people in the LGBTQ community. Like they're public officials. Like you said, they're involved in the music industry. They're involved everywhere. And they're making moves. I think they have a better game plan right now. They're more, their focus is better right now. But I think that's going to slow down because now you're getting that same, somebody was talking about, should we have, what did they say? I'm trying to think what the t-shirt was. Not homo. Was it hetero? Did somebody say they should have heterosexual month or something like that?
I did see that on a post.
I'm trying to think, was it that?
Would you support heterosexual Pride Month or something like that?
And so now it's the back, things get bad is when they're trying to negate it and almost like, well, I should be able to do this too. Mm-hmm. I should be able to say I'm proud as a heterosexual. You do. Like, you don't even have to say you're proud.
Yeah.
It's just part of the norm. So, I think they're. What are you about to say?
I was gonna say, let me ask you guys this, because I don't know if they're the most powerful. I can't even answer my own question, but they definitely are powerful. But I wonder, are they seemingly more effective because their movement isn't tied to one or two people?
That's what I mean.
Like the Black movement has been for so many years. Like for so many years, it was Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson. So if you were the opposing side, all you had to do was discredit them, and then you would split the Black community in half. Because I'm not following Jesse Jackson. He got out of wedlock kids. Or I'm not following Al Sharpton because he's a race hustler. You know what I mean? You discredit them, you help discredit the whole movement. With the gay movement, I don't think, I could be wrong. I don't think it's tied to like one or two individuals. It's more like a group thing to where you have to respect what they want. There's nobody for them to discredit or demonize.
Yeah, I can see that because they don't have like one spokesperson, right? That stands up. Yeah. So, but which one do we want? Because I mean, that's the thing we talked about for the Black community. We need that, right? Like we talked about how the NAACP isn't that anymore, and how Black Lives Matter is becoming that or whatever. So, do we want a spokesperson or somebody who can actually say, "Here's the Black agenda"? Or do we want this amorphous thing where nobody can point to anybody, any one particular person?
I don't even think that. What is supporting? How does supporting the LGBT community hurt you? As a heterosexual Black man, as a heterosexual white man, like it doesn't hurt you in any way. You don't have to worry about losing your job. You don't have to worry about. Only thing is it's a social perception. Now, if I support Black rights and equality, it might pull the Band-Aid off of years of oppression that I have to recognize that I got my position this way. I'm successful because of this. My family built their wealth on the backs of Blacks and slaves and all this stuff. There's more reckoning that comes with acknowledging our struggle than it does their struggle. And I think that, so to me, it's all about what do I lose by acknowledging somebody else? And so the harder it is, or the more I lose, the harder it is for people to sympathize or admit they're wrong. Even when we were talking about taking away from the LGBTQ community, think about just with the women's rights things. Like when you realize that you're getting paid more than the average woman, you know, what if acknowledging those things, acknowledging that we're in a patriarchy, how does it hurt your life?
Well, you know how they'll answer that. Religion.
Yeah,
like I think Razio mentioned the cake people. They didn't want to do it because it was against their religion.
Yeah. I mean, that's their excuse. But at the end of the day, if they say, you know what, take it out of the cake. I'm just saying, like financially, could gay rights, equal rights for the LGBT community, how would that financially affect the American public? There's no downside to helping them, right? Mm-hmm. If we do that with Blacks, we say, okay, reparations. How do we pay back Black? How do we make it right? What do you do to make it right with Black people? What do you do to make it right with women? Do we more women, female CEOs? You know, like there's so many things that have to be done right, and it's gonna unseat the people of power. That it's like, look, if I have to agree with gays, Blacks, or women, I feel like a lot of people are going to choose the LGBT community because it's less harm.
So we can. This has been a lot. We can move on to the next question, but I'll just say this: if you're one of those people that Ferg just described, a way to simplify it, just love everybody. Just love everybody. That's all you got to do. Black, gay, white. Just love. Unless they do you harm or do you wrong, just accept everybody and love them for who they are. That's it.
I'll make it even easier. You don't have to love everybody. Just respect everybody.
Yeah, well, even better.
Because you know, having people try to get people to love people. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. Just respect them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let them be them. What you got for us, Razi?